We're live.
We're live. Welcome back, delicious listeners, to another episode of Artie and Fist. Artie and Fist, Artie and Fist. You should know that we're both on a list. If we disappear, then you'll know we're in Gitmo or something. Look, we're still working on the jingle, right? But it's coming along. Oh shit! YouTube is decided it's like playing in the background. No. Right. Tonight, we examine the Fuentes question. What is a Fuentes? Why has he burst onto the political scene like some kind of alien facehugger? Are the rumors true that he was in fact developed by Nazi scientists on the moon as a half Mexican, half Aryan super political hybrid and smuggled into the United States in some kind of corn-spaced spaceship? Shaped spaceship.
These are the questions everybody wants the answers to. It's incredible how you're so in tune with the audience.
These are the questions we will be answering tonight. How you doing, Artie?
I'm doing all right. This is good. This really utilizes my skill set because I've spent a couple years building up a channel where people couldn't possibly agree with everything I'm saying, you know?
Yep.
So you can't get unilateral agreement on this. There's going to be people that think he's a Fed. Go, how is he a Fed?
Well, I'm actually.
There's going to be people there'll be people going to change their mind by the end of this. People are not going to change their mind. Fellas, what matters is the things you can control, not the things you can't control. So we're just going to be giving our thoughts. All right.
Yep.
Talking about the movement in general as a whole, the anti-moo movement. And then down to the granular, specific accusations about his pedophilia. So we hope to cover the full gamut in the next 2 hours.
I mean, except for me, of course. I am in fact being paid by the feds. I have to disclose that. In young boys in Bitcoin. Oh, it's a delightful, right? Like you too can join the feds, right? Go to www.fedophilia.com. Sign up now, right? They're always looking for people, right? You too can have a private island and a kick in the teeth and a bit of an MK Ultra up here, right? And like once they've scooped your brain out, they'll drop you on like a streaming show, right? It'll be fame and fortune. Oh, it's delightful, really. Oh, we already got a super chat from Bubblegum Gun for $2 first super chat of the night. Thank you very much. If you're not anti-Semitic, you're not right wing. Oh, spicy take.
I mean, it's kind of true.
This is
I've been and. Fellas, you'll find this out over time as I give you my lore in very small bits. I've been on the left. I've been a liberal, and there is only the right wing at this point. I speak from a decade of experience that these people do not seek the truth.
Yeah,
and it's been very frustrating.
You've been around, haven't you, Artie? You're known in all the boroughs. You've been in all the sleazy political clubs, right? You picked up that dose of liberal herpes.
Yeah. Hey, let me give you some lore. I've been in a polyamorous relationship in 2015. How you like that one? I've been inside the enemy, okay?
Literally.
I know.
And
I know all about him.
2015? Oh, mate. Oh, you youngins. I was doing polyamory right before it was cool, right? It was terrible, by the way, right? Like I look back on it as like one of the darkest periods in my life. Oh, dude, my God.
I did that as the most staunch individualist possible, and that is not how you're supposed to do that. Fully straight, fully white. I just didn't want my girlfriend bothering me all the time, so I was like, go do whatever you want. Apparently, that's not what the rest of the community thinks. We got our wires crossed, to say the least. And she was Dominican.
So you handed her off to Jamal, like, sort of like when you need video game time or something. Is that what you're saying?
It didn't work. I mean, it didn't work for so many reasons.
It never does, mate. It never does.
Neither did the monogamous relationships, though. So I'm going my own way.
Right. Anyway,
I'm voluntarily celibate.
That ends the personal reflection part of the show. Those
are my credentials.
Where we share uncomfortable thoughts about ourselves, right? Because look, it enhances the parasocial relationship, right? You guys want to be like us, don't you? Right? You wanna be cool.
No.
You know,
No, I don't prescribe my life to anybody. My prescriptions are external, and then I have internal what works for me, okay? I understand how this works.
right? Okay. So shall we get on to the Fuentes
So, yeah.
files?
So, first I want to set us Fuentes. He's got a lot of hype, and I want to show you why he has a lot of hype, okay? So, we're going to give you an introduction, right? Oh, I mean, the most hype he's ever had. And he didn't change his message to get this hype, by the way. He has this hype because he's been saying the same thing for almost a decade now. And all of a sudden, you know, Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens are like, hey, I'm going to be critical of these people in the last year. And so it's not like he came out of nowhere. He's been around. He's just been removed from the internet. He just came back to social media in May of this year? And they're already starting to try to do an orbital strike on him. So let's have him give a nice summary of how he feels about the current situation.
Fuentes so hot right now, yeah.
He's a neighbor.
Let's
he's our neighbor.
Right. Is that yeah, okay, right. This is the one. First clip. Let's go. Brace your ears. Enjoy.
I'm the realest
neighbor
on the internet that's in the middle of my generational run. And it is not going to come to an end anytime soon over my dead body because a bunch of fucking autistic spurgs that weren't even born here are going to try and lie on my name. Elon Musk, you weren't born here. Milo, you're a Jew and you weren't born here. Candace Owens, your husband wasn't born here. Go the fuck home. This is America first. I was born in America. This is the only country I've ever known, and I will die for America. Can you say the same? I am America first. You are not. You're not even American. And to the extent that you are, you're a fucking traitor. That's the last word on that. That's the show. Who is the Fed? Will the real federal agent please stand up? Who is it? Who's the real federal agent? Elon, Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance Tucker, and George Farmer, the son of the head of the Alliance of Christians and Jews in the UK? Or the realest fucking
neighbor?
You know. Patrick Bet-David said, why do you say the N-word? It's to show people I'm real. Why do you roll out of bed at 3 a.m. and do a show? Why do you say you're going to have hate sex with Candace Owens? Why do you say neighbor? It's to show you I'm the real
neighbor
on the show. All these people that have been taking checks from Fox News, Turning Point USA, Dennis Prager, they're just not ready for this. They're not ready that we're in the Groyper generation. Because all this time, these past 8 years, what do you think I've been doing? Your attacks, your slander, your persecution, I have only been growing stronger. Don't you get it? I have only been gathering strength. 8 years. Lied about, censored, attacked, persecuted. Well, you were at parties getting millions of dollars for doing bullshit. Your show is ass, and you're full of shit, and you're retarded. And that is why I'm not just coming for Rumble. I'm not just coming for Twitter. I'm coming for all of it. I'm coming for all of it. You thought you'd bring me on the show and press me about Dave Smith? You don't know who the fuck you're dealing with. You let in a fucking dragon, bitch. Imagine shooting a man with this last bullet, which actually happened to me. They came to my house. They tried to kill me. I'm still here. I'm still at this house. You know where to find me. Bitch. You tried shooting me with your last bullet, and I stand there, unfazed. So bring it on. Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk. I'm coming for all of it. I'm gonna fuck up your apple cart, and all the king's men are not gonna be able to put it back together again. You might kill me in the process, but you're fucking done. Signed, America.
It's such an old man proclamation to say, I'm going to fuck up your apple cart. He really is an old soul. So,
Man,
fellas.
could I just comment, right?
Yeah.
I am reminded of that quote from Machiavelli, right? I think it's in The Prince, right? Which is like, if you are going to injure a man, make sure that you injure him severely. Because if you only injure him mildly, right, he's going to come back at you, right? And I just... this is clearly what's happened, right? He's an angry young man. Artie,
yeah.
Why are young white men so angry, right? Is it because they're not touching grass? Is it because they're not having sex? Is it climate change? Like, which of these three options do you think explains the current political moment?
Oh, I mean, climate change, the political climate, everything's climate.
Clearly.
So Mr. Asian Pie asked, why did Nick lie about being on a no-fly list? Now, that's a good question. So apparently he was on a no-fly list because he threatened to strangle a flight attendant. Okay? Allegedly, I don't know how to verify these things as a fact, but I'm familiar with that. However, trying to strangle a flight attendant doesn't make you a Fed, unfortunately. So I want the chat to flood with the best he's a Fed argument, because as we're going to find out, he does make a compelling case that the people accusing of being a Fed are in positions of much more power than him and have much more connections to Feds than he does. So even if he's lied about something, that doesn't necessarily make you a Fed. You know, he's probably leveraging it to get support. I mean, he's very politically minded. So, I mean, I just don't see the things he's saying. I don't see how a Fed of 8 years, like, what is that gain? It's like when someone says there's a flat Earth and they're trying to hide it from you that it's a flat Earth. I'm like, why would I give a fuck if the Earth was flat? I don't understand the motivation of why the Feds would make him say all this based on point shit that mirrors Pat Buchanan.
Evil Author 1776 says he's mad that he didn't get into the Fed Club. I think you might be right there, Evil Author, right? I mean, he studied international relations and politics at university, and that's the kind of thing you study when you are, thinking of going into the establishment, right? But he was kicked to the curb, right, and chucked out of university after Charlottesville, right? So, the sort of the idea that having been spurned by the establishment, he has turned on the establishment makes sense. I think there's actually a lot of people out there, right? Like, in another life, right? Nick might be working at, the State Department or, like some other sort of like government functionary, right? But now
he hasn't played ball though. He's very much a loner.
He doesn't play ball now, right? But like if
when he was 15, he played ball? He's been doing this for like a decade. That's what I don't understand. We all know that classic trope of the charismatic Fed, right?
That's a good point. I mean, like, can you imagine fucking Fuentes at university, right? Like, just
Boston University, like less than a half an hour from me is where he went to school.
He goes into like fucking Middle East history, Middle East politics class, right? And teacher starts talking about Israel, and he's just like, "God damn it, fuck you, mate." Yeah,
I mean,
that would have been
talks about going through the same process that a lot of white dudes have gone through, going to college, and then he brings up how they were, getting stuff handed to them from wealthy families. He essentially started like a podcast in his roommate's dorm and then went and then dropped out of college. So, I mean, that's the lore anyway, but I just, I understand how he's like sketchy and like, gay. I understand that. Like, at worst, he's a gay pedophile. I don't think he's a Fed. At worst, he's a gay pedophile. But,
well, I mean,
but
you would think
would you support, but you weigh that You weigh out how much you might be a gay pedophile against how bad do you want to take down Israel. You weigh these things on a scale, and justice is blind. Okay.
I mean, that's a very, very good point. Did he in fact get a blowjob from Destiny? Like, is that confirmed? I'm not watching that to figure that out.
I have no problem watching that. I've seen crazy off. I've had the internet since I was 12. It wouldn't faze me at all. But I haven't like actively searched for it. It's. I mean, I don't think Nick's face is in it. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm the yellow light on it.
I feel like if his face was in it,
It
crops
would have
of
been
that
like
would
some
be all
Glenn
over
Greenwald.
Twitter.
It would have been like Glenn Greenwald shit. Okay.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah, I almost got banned for showing that.
Oh, bro.
What would I do if I got banned from X?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Didn't you already get banned from X? Aren't you on
like
your like second incarnation?
It was initially, I think I'm on my 4th, and I just changed the handle every time. I have to come up with a new pun every single time.
Right. So Vala Vinge is saying that he watched the full Destiny video and it's another man. Right. Okay. I mean, I could believe this because it would be all over Twitter,
know.
like the Greenwald thing, right? They'd be screen capping his face and like it'd be posted everywhere. I can't believe that the people that are clearly trying to like nobble him at the moment would let such a juicy nugget pass them by.
He had a cat
right?
boy. He did have a cat boy arc, and the way he talks about it is not very white, ethno-state, straight, friendly rhetoric. I'll put it that way. But we gotta get scooting, buddy.
We do. We
chatting like a couple of yentas over here. We gotta get moving.
Chatting like a couple of yentas over here. You got to get on with it. I got to get to Temple in a couple of hours. Okay. So this is Fuentes talking about Charlie Kirk and sort of just. I think this is the one where he's broadly outlining his take on
JQ,
the
standard JQ.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's go.
Most bizarre 17 minutes of content that I think I've seen this entire year. They call it a focus group, and I suppose the intention was to hear from the kids firsthand. Of course, the big story of the past 2 years is that Israel is becoming extremely unpopular. That's to put it mildly. Anti-Semitism has become mainstream. Let's put it that way. Everywhere you look, on TikTok and on Twitter, people are sharing my clips, Jake Shields, Dan Bilzerian, Myron Gaines. And people are not just criticizing Israel. They're talking about Israel's role in 9/11. They're talking about Israel's role in the JFK assassination. They're talking about Israel's designs, which have brought America to war in the Middle East for 25 years. They're talking about Jewish power and a grand international Jewish conspiracy being perpetrated by organized Jewish groups that coordinate with each other on an international level. Everyone has become aware of this reality. This is not opinion. This is not hatred. Everyone, because of the liberalization of the internet in the past 2 years, because of Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter and the free speech on the platform, because of TikTok, because censorship has receded, everybody is becoming aware of the brutal reality, which is that Western civilization seems to be influenced extensively by an organized international Jewish conspiracy, narratives about atrocities like the Holocaust and other historical things up to and including October 7th are being used as emotional blackmail to guilt the native populations into accepting a melting pot, multiracial, diverse, tolerant society. This has allowed a small minority that is both a religious and ethnic minority, which is 2% of the population, to rise up and become disproportionately represented and influential in media, Hollywood, finance, banking, government, and they use that influence and that power for nefarious purposes. They use it to consolidate their influence and their wealth. They use it to empower Israel. They use that influence to get America to fight Israel's wars, among other things. What's more?
Now,
General
fellas,
Wesley Clark, when he visited.
Now, how would we feel if nationally across the country, that's how every middle school social studies class started before any word is spoken? That is the first 3 minutes of every class in America. It was very succinct. It was said in a very G-rated way. I mean, it's pretty undeniable. There's a reason why people get a little cranky around the moose. There's a reason why you have to make the truth illegal. So, I mean, there he just lays out the case in plain English. Simple enough for anyone to understand. And
I think
the
the
litmus
ADL
test
has
is...
something to say about that, Artie. I can't believe you're platforming this kind of hate.
Oh, are they going to say that America first? Is now a hate slogan? Would they say that?
What you don't understand is that saying America first is a very isolationist position that might make them forget their allies. One specific ally, their greatest ally of all, that has done so much for America.
Gays can't get married
ADL just...
in Israel. I love it. I love it.
Yes, I also love the nation of Israel. Just so much. So much.
Well, that shit doesn't fly.
I think we might have to have a fist fight actually over who loves it the most. To be perfectly honest, there, Artie.
I don't really like it a lot at all. You win, Uncle. You beat me. You win. Oh,
it was a much
don't
easier
win.
fight. It was a much easier fight than I thought it'd be. My God.
Anything to not deal with you people. Anything but that. So,
Okay.
this is in reference to someone called in to Charlie Kirk show to be like, hey, small hat kissed the rock man. Now you're criticizing Israel, and there might be a hit out on you. We don't know. But now you're in dicey territory over here. And so the caller's like, well, why don't you talk to Nick Fuentes? Which is a fair enough question, I think. Why doesn't Charlie Kirk want to debate Nick Fuentes?
I mean, quite frankly, no one does, right? I mean, this is going to be the interesting sort of thing, right? Given that he's not going to go away, right? Given that he's on Alex Jones,
honing his skills for a decade, while his brain was
and he's been honing his skills for a decade, right? Like, at what point will the fact that they are ignoring his existence become untenable, right? Because you see this all the time, right? The media does this all the time. If there's something they want to ignore, right? They just pretend like it basically sort of doesn't exist, and then once it gets like so large that it becomes very obvious that they're ignoring the thing, and they're sort of like forced half-heartedly, to acknowledge it. It's going to be interesting, right? Let's check this clip out.
I am reiterating my call. If you are with the Catholic Church in Christ, if you are with America, if you are against organized Jewry, you're on my team. We can fix it. We can resolve it. We can resolve anything. That goes to Tucker. That goes to Candace. That goes to any of them. If you're a good faith actor, if you're joined in the fight against organized Jewry in favor of Christ in America, then whatever petty disputes can be resolved. There can be understanding, there can be apologies, there could be working relationship, patience, all of it. But if you're pushing this line that it's neocons, Frankists, if you're obfuscating, if you're calling people real anti-Semites, real Jew haters, with all this weird stuff going on, I don't know who I trust. I don't know these people's intentions. I don't know what they believe. There's no clarity on it. They play these dog whistle insinuation games. I don't play those games. I'm an open book when it comes to this stuff. I'm telling you what it is. It's organized Jewry. They're working for the devil. It's what it is. They murder women and children. Who else are they working for? They spit on Christians. They shoot tanks at crosses on churches. Who else could they be working for other than the devil? And you tell me it's neocons? Clearly, we don't understand the breadth of the issue, or we're not being honest about it. Either way, I don't like it. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of tie that up in a bow. We are not going to be stalled. We are not going to be interrupted. We are not going to be delayed in the generational run exposing what is happening in our country. We're not going to get off message and lose focus and take our eye off the ball. I've been doing this a long time, and I know that's how they play. So we addressed it yesterday. That's done. Onward is the battle cry. Forward.
Now, I kind of have an issue with Nick Fuentes invoking Christianity, okay? He's traditionally a degen. He's not looking to have a large family and make more white people. He's a great spokesperson. He's kind of like a kamikaze missile to a globalized Jewry, because he's not really increasing the amount of kids being had. He's very incel oriented, and that's a huge part of Christianity is multiplying.
Yeah, but the central plank of Christianity is redemption of the soul and fighting the devil. So, there's at the moment, there's sort of basically kind of two branches of Christianity, right? There's like the trad cats and the Orthodox, who are all about like, let's fight the devil. And then you've got the Cuxtianity, right? Which, the Judeo-Christianity, which is all like, Christianity basically means like giving away everything you own to like migrants and, like laying down. And so it's two very, very different flavors, right? I see a lot of people get very
It's a part of his brand
too,
to be an incel. It's also, a part of his brand to be the loner.
Well, I mean,
it's who he's representing.
On the other hand, right? Like, I think you were talking about this pre-show, right? If he had a girlfriend, if he had
hold up, Deadpool kid for $20 fucking dollars, mate. Jesus Christ!
$20? Holy crap, bro!
Hey guys, I asked uncensored AI to give structures of the Cabal system, and it's more complicated than it being a monolithic entity. Each faction, from the Moos to the Jesuits and anyone else, support and undermine one another. Yeah, this is way more Mr. Fist's area of expertise in the different divisions.
What you are essentially talking about, Deadpool kid, thank you very much for the $20, is a sort of noted part of elite theory, if you've ever read Pareto, right? Okay, so you can talk of the elite as a sort of class or a mass, right, by its shared interests. And it is a common thing among the elite that although when not threatened, they pursue individual interests, right? And they will frequently clash, like aristocratic families, for example, like do this, right? When they are threatened sort of as a whole, right, as a class, right? If you want to sort of like get Marxian about it, right? But class is a good way to refer to it, right? Then they group together to fight whatever it is threatening, their power base or their hegemony, right? And then once that existential threat is destroyed, then they go back to their, scheming and infighting, right? So this is not necessarily, look.
All right, Mr. Fist. If we want to watch you suck your own dick in front of everybody, we would pay for your OnlyFans, okay? Let's land the plane and keep it scooting, okay?
No. Look. This is a really, like, sort of major point.
Yeah.
At the root of all of this, fundamentally, right, is the money power, right? Is like the way the financial system works. This is why these people are so goddamn powerful. They have all the money. They make all the money. They control how money is exchanged and distributed, right? That is the fundamental source of their power. Without the ability to do that, they wouldn't have anything. So, anyway, dick sucking over. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Right.
So I want to show them the Charlie Kirk.
Right, yeah, so you got the clips mixed up. You bastard. You gonk. You wombat.
Is that what you people say? Anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can convince me people say anything. I have no idea.
We, in Australia, we call people a dingle wombat.
All right, so this is when someone called into Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. This is Charlie Kirk getting the twitches. It's I don't know. It's a bit sussy.
I say, if you truly believe in open debate in the marketplace of ideas, will you ever be willing to debate Nick Fuentes, or will you wait until his movement forces you to adopt his talking points, as we've seen already?
You know, it's funny. I personally do not give a platform to bad faith actors, and he scares the shit out of me. He would kick my ass on the debate stage, and that's bad for the Jews, so no.
Oh, wait, we got our clips
I
mixed
say,
up.
if you
I think
wait,
we got our
wait,
clips mixed up. Hold on.
That's not the real clip.
That was the
Artie,
wrong one.
What
Let's
are you
get the real
doing to
clip.
me? Fake news, mate. Fake
was-
news. I
was
can't.
the
Oh,
wrong
right. No, this is the real clip. Oh my
All
god.
right.
Wait. Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm having a seizure here. Right. Okay. This is the real clip. Fake news. Fake news.
Let's go to Nathaniel. Nathaniel, thank you so much for being a member. What's on your mind?
Hi, Charlie. As a TPUSA chapter founder and president, I've seen firsthand how the tide is turning among young conservatives. I say, if you truly believe in open debate in the marketplace of ideas, will you ever be willing to debate Nick Fuentes, or will you wait until his movement forces you to adopt his talking points, as we've seen already?
You know, it's funny. I personally do not give a platform to bad faith actors, and I had a whole open about this. And by the way, a really important thing is not to lie and to not bear false testimony. It's fine. I'll answer your question. You know, you said, oh, you know, I want to have a question about Turning Point events. And you obviously lied about your question. Doesn't surprise me because you have deceit. But you know what? Honestly, I'm asked that question all the time. I don't platform trolls. And I don't platform and I don't discuss people or I don't debate with people that are not good faith actors.
So he's a leftist. Basically,
know.
right? Like, how many times have we heard this from the left? Oh, I don't
generic.
platform trolls, right? Like,
That's literally what James Lindsay says.
And
It's
exactly.
indistinguishable. Now, I've listened to Nick Fuentes since, like, I don't know, 2018, when he used to debate Destiny, like 4-hour kill streams. And if Nick doesn't know something, same with Destiny. I mean, there's streamers. They don't know everything. He's rhetorically strong. He knows how to deviate the conversation if it's in an area that he's not comfortable in. It's not like he's a perfect beacon of truth and never uses rhetorical tactics and whatnot. But I mean, you got to have something substantial when this fucking Loch Ness monster, this Kraken, is coming out of the sea for you, and you're like, I don't want to talk to the Kraken. Well, you're gonna have to at some point, buddy. But let's see what Nick's response to that was.
Well, they're clearly just trying to, like, you know, hope he goes away, or just, mate, I don't know. I've never seen everyone in the scene, right, so afraid to talk to a guy, right? They'll talk to Andrew Tate, right? They didn't have a fucking problem with that. But like Fuentes
Charlie
is basically
Kirk talks
radioactive.
to, like, disgusting hairy troons on campuses. Like
Exactly.
He talks to the most bad faith, deceitful people. He cut his teeth talking to those people in public.
But the thing about Charlie
Kirk,
Kirk,
Hassan Piker, you know that, right?
When
he's debated Hassan Piker.
Look, whenever I see Charlie Kirk's like university videos, right, the thing that goes through my head, right, is why are you talking to like first year university students who know literally jack shit, right? Why aren't you
to show
like debating,
being taught to show that they don't really know anything? I mean, it's very effective to do that.
Yeah, it is very effective.
This is where they're getting indoctrinated. And also, same thing with Steven Crowder. Sometimes teachers and faculty will hop on the mic as well. So I mean, I never have that feeling because it's been the most rhetorically strong thing for the right to go to an open forum. Sure, it's edited, but there's plenty of them that are unedited. And I mean, there's
I must say
wonders for pushing people to the right.
I preferred Crowder when he was doing his stuff. I don't know.
He's also funnier. He's funnier.
Yeah, exactly. Shall we finish this clip? It's got about another 20 seconds.
Yes.
And,
You debate Maoists and people who champion.
They can keep on yelling at how successful we are and our big events and well over 1,000 employees, but a lot of jealousy out there. We build, they complain.
So he muted the guy, and then was like, "Oh, you're just jealous. This is James Lindsay tier bullshit.
I know.
Like, what
I
the
know.
fuck, dude? Oh, that's gay. That is highly homosexual.
I
Right.
know. But the reason why people like Nick Fuentes is on top of anything of everything else. So just rhetorically right now, think of how Charlie Kirk just behaved, and now let's watch Nick Fuentes and see which one is more culturally relevant and naturally funny.
Nick, I'm sorry. I know you have to disavow this, but it must be said. #rape Charlie Kirk.
That was crazy. Did you see that clip today? He was literally twitching. Some caller calls into the Charlie Kirk show and says, "Why won't you debate Nick Fuentes?" And his whole face is twitching. He's like, he goes, "Well, you said you wanted to call about Turning Point events. I guess you lied about that. Deceit. I guess deceit is what you like, because you lied your way into the call." And I was like, "Whoa, dude, just take it easy. Hey, man, just take it easy." That was crazy. And then he deleted the video. That was a live stream. Someone ambushed him asking about me. And then Charlie Kirk, the second the stream went down, he deleted it, which he never does. Weird stuff. He goes, "I don't debate bad faith actors and trolls who blame the Jews for everything." Oh, yeah, you just debate communists, socialists, Democrats, the governor of Canada, or of California. He lives in fear. Rent free, buddy. We're coming for you. We're coming for you, globalist. We're coming for you, globalist. We got your number, pal. We're coming for you, Shabbos Goy.
Oh, we got another super chat. 10 Canadian dollars from Cubics85. Do you guys think the college talks should stop altogether? Or do you think Charlie Kirk should just change how he's doing them? Love the show. Thank you very much, Cubics. I mean, I quite like the college talks format, right? I just found like Kirk to be, I don't know, it just seemed a little bit like unmatched to me, right? Crowder clearly doesn't have an academic background, right? So it seemed like more level, right? Whereas Kirk, I don't know what his background is, but he's clearly got some kind of academic background. It was just more like shooting fish in a barrel, right? And I would just rather see him matched with a more equal opponent, I guess. On the other hand, I haven't watched a ton of his stuff. Like, Fuentes was saying, like, he's debated like all these like different people. I don't know. I don't know.
I approach this just completely differently. He should do more of them. He should do as many as he can possibly do. It's good. It's for normies. It's if a lot about Charlie Kirk and you're critical of him, it's not for you. It's for normies. And then normies listen to Charlie Kirk do that for 2 years, and then they see that he won't talk to Nick Fuentes. It works itself out. No,
it's true. It is for normies. That's absolutely true. Yeah, like perhaps I'm not being normie enough. Got another super chat. Name taken for $10. $10. Christ! Oh, look, the super chats are flowing in like the Nullarbor River. No, right? Like the yeah.
The accent really smells it.
Name taken for $10. I'm sorry, but Nick having fanboys that white knight for him and issue challenges to people like Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro on conservative call-in podcasts is gay.
It's a rhetorical strategy. It's definitely a strategy. And people are throwing ethics and politeness out the window. But I mean, Nick Fuentes and the Groypers have been harassing Charlie Kirk for 4 years now? They've gone to CPAC. They've gotten kicked out of CPAC. So, I mean, I understand their resentment, but I also completely understand Charlie Kirk protecting his brand. I mean, everybody's trying to make the smartest, most calculated move possible on the right. And step one is making people not in the left. That's step one. And Charlie does that step one really well.
I mean, this is basically political warfare, right? Yeah. This is why political managerialism never works, right? This is why engineers can't into politics, right? Because politics is a science of the heart, a science of the passion, right? A science of the voice, right? Like it's not about like, having like society as like a train set. And in my opinion, this is one of the reasons why the powers that be or, the managerial elite are really scared of people like Fuentes and like Trump, because they don't want anyone who's got charisma, because charisma is kind of like a superpower that they can't properly control.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Right? If you've got
Yes.
charisma, you can move an entire crowd, right? You can wrap a whole country potentially like around your finger, right? And then when the managerial elite come along and say, "Oh, I don't think we should do that," there's the GDP, and what about the managerial elite and the administrators, right? And it's this is what they mean by populism, by the way, right? Like if you've ever like seen like an academic and they talk about populism, this is what they mean. They mean any kind of charismatic leader, right? They want their politicians to be like bland and anodyne, and you get a choice between like shit flavored yogurt A or shit flavored yogurt number B, right?
They want you
Like,
to feel like the person's not going to represent you. They want you to feel like that deep down on the inside, and the charismatic person wakes up something in you.
Yeah,
Nick's charismatic, but he ain't perfect, as we'll see later on. He ain't perfect.
Yeah. Well, this is my point, right? If someone is charismatic enough, it doesn't actually matter, right? Like look at Trump, right? Like classic example, right? Like I mean, okay, some of the shine's come off now, right? But if you think of like sort of early Trump, everyone's like, oh my god, he's not, he's not suited for politics. Everyone, we don't care. Right, like, and this is a
he's fucking old, and Nick is young, and he's been doing this already for a long time. So there's that prospect as well.
Do you think he's going to run in 2032?
At a certain point, I don't see why he wouldn't run. Yeah, there's already been attacks on his life.
Wait, we got on the super chat. Total blackout painting. Oh, mate, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Shekels for my bros.
Sheckies.
Kirk is the king of the conservatives. Quote, I trust my friends in the government. Can you think of a more stupid thing to say than that? I mean, yeah, that's a really good point. I trust my friends in the government, right?
Well, I mean,
Epstein files, they don't even exist, bro. Like, oh, come on.
I mean, the thing is, I've been just very anti-communist and very anti-left for a long time, but it's very inactive. Like, okay, if we defeat the left, then what? There's no real like prescriptions there. And so with like Ben Shapiro and like Charlie Kirk, I'm like, dude, the more people that are popular, that are getting people away from the fucking left, the better. And then some time passed. Then I started asking some more questions.
Well,
and I wasn't happy with the answers I was getting. And I was being shooed away. And so I have to find YouTube-safe ways of asking these questions. So
you don't want to ask too many questions. You're going to do yourself a brain injury.
We can't go far right enough.
Questions.
We can't go far right enough as far as I'm concerned. My main gripe at this point in my life is we've tried the far left dozens of times around the world, okay? Can we? And like now when they talk about socialism, it's like, no, non-violent, democratic socialism. Let's just do democratic Nazism then. Cool. We'll just vote for it. Cool. Why can't we ever do a softer version of the far right? It's unbelievable.
It's very dangerous talk there, Artie. Right.
Democratic fascism.
To get back to the show, to move it along. So Harrison Smith, who works for Infowars apparently, right? I haven't watched his show. He tweeted out saying, I'm not going to name names, but I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. Bro.
I mean,
fuck, man.
He kind of acts like it. He's like, that's bad faith. I don't talk to people that are bad faith unless they're on the left. And
I mean, look, I mean,
I don't think
it's possible to like seriously overstate how influential Turning Point is, right? Like, they've got like a UK branch, right? Like Turning Point is sort of like the center, the beating heart of the conservative Zionist nexus, right?
Awesome.
Like, they're like, oh yeah, we support white people and also Israel, of course, right?
Awesome. Great, perfect. I completely support
idiots.
that. I completely support that. What they do is use us, so let's use them. Awesome. Now you're not useful. You got us this far, and now on this topic, you're not useful, so attack them. I understand that. That's how the game is played. You're no longer face the wall. You're no longer useful. This is a time where a lot of people are pretty critical about Israel, and This is something that's been around for thousands of years. It's not a new criticism.
Well,
I have to have controlled opposition to have people act this way toward moos to then victimize them. Everyone always feels like this, okay? Toward this population.
I can't help but notice, right, that before October 7th, right, there didn't seem to be, a very strong sort of mooish support for the whites, right? Like, quite the opposite, right? Or just, apathy, right? And then since October 7th, right, they're all like, oh, we love the whites. We've always
remember when the ADL brought up all the anti-white harassment going on campuses, anti-white abuse? Remember when they brought that up? Oh, no, it was when at Columbia, all of a sudden, pro-Palestine protesters, commies, were beating the shit out of Jews, and they were like, hey, now this is too far, okay? They're magically not white anymore, and they're Jewish. They can transform. The original brand.
London was exactly the same, okay, right? London had been going to shit literally for like years, okay, right? Nobody fucking feels safe in London unless you're in like one of the really posh parts, okay? And then as soon as October 7th happened, right, and these articles can't start coming out, right? Oh, the moos don't feel safe in London. Oh, well, shit, stop the presses, man, right? Like, who gives a fuck if like the normal people in London haven't felt safe for years? Oh my God, right? Oh, dude.
Well, that's the definition of marginalized. White people are marginalized. You might think it is equivocated to being like a minority. No, it means a group of people's concerns are treated as peripheral and insignificant. So on one hand, oh yeah, the Jews have all this power. Oh yeah, they're only 0.1% of the population. On the other hand, when something happens to a fraction of that 0.1% of the population, it makes the fucking newspapers, doesn't it?
Yep. And it's so integral to the post-war consensus as well. I mean, oh my God, Australia's going through this thing at the moment as well. Like, they've got like a new Nazi party called the National Socialist Network, right? And they did like one march through Melbourne at like 1 a.m., right? And now all of a sudden, their version of the ADL is like, oh my God, we've got to rewrite the Constitution, and we've got to like literally like fire these people into the sun and mobilize the security services. And you're just like, dude, where was any of that energy, right, for literally anything else, right? And like, it's always framed as like, you notice how, right, like when the moos want something, it's always framed as like a threat, right? Lindsey Graham did this, right? Like,
with Israel, right?
Right. Yeah. Right. Like if the US stops supporting Israel, right, God will abandon the US. Bad stuff will happen. They never turn around and they're like, oh my God, we love America so much, right?
Is Lindsey Graham trying to get synagogues demolished? Why would he say that? Talk about something that drives anti-Semitism.
I just think
where you invoke God to protect them. Like,
they never come out and say, oh, we love you guys so much. It's always this weird, oh, this is going into territory. We won't have a country. You won't have a country anymore. It's always these veiled threats. Just
thinking in the chat calls it the Bagelian dialectic. Very nice. Very nice. It was right there.
What kind of schmear do you have on your Bagelian dialectic? We have two flavors.
There's nothing to schmear. I am here.
Okay. So we now move on. To the Fed accusations. Nick Fuentes, if that is your real name.
Okay, so I don't think he's a Fed. But this is very similar to 9/11. There's things that I can't explain that don't make any sense. Okay? So whatever is not a Fed, but it's still his January 6th stuff makes absolutely no sense, and this is valid grounds to call him a Fed, in my opinion.
Yep. I agree. This is this is sussy, right? Like, okay, so this is the footage. This is the famous footage, right, of Fuentes at January 6th. Encouraging the crowd to break through the barriers. He is actually outside the barriers, though, right? Like, he's not in like the forecourt, like right in front of the Capitol building, where they were chucking stun grenades and stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're calling balls and strikes. We're being fair.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, right? Like, just trying to, because most people, when you say they were at the Capitol, right? Most people don't realize, like, the Capitol is huge, right?
Yeah.
Like, it is really, really huge, right? And that area right in front of the building where all those people were kettled and they were chucking the stun grenades and like riling the crowd up, right? That's like right in front of the Capitol. There's a bunch of stuff like further out. Anyway, let's play the clip.
Keep moving towards the Capitol. It appears we are taking the Capitol. Keep marching and don't relax. Never relax. Yeah! They're evacuating the Capitol. They're evacuating. Break down the barriers and disregard the police. This Capitol belongs to us. They're evacuating the Capitol! They're evacuating the Capitol! They're evacuating the Capitol! The police are evacuating the Capitol! Politicians made laugh! Story out of the people's house! And that's exactly how it should be. These politicians don't represent us. They betray us. And now we are forcibly evicting them from the people's house.
Break down the barriers and disregard the police.
What did they think was going to fucking happen, mate? Right?
Yeah,
like,
no.
I did
No.
this whole January 6th like deep dive like a while back, and I was like,
Did you watch it happen
what?
live?
no, some of it.
I was in
but
the Proud
the
Boys.
best video
I
came
was
out
in the
after.
Proud Boys Telegram watching them smoke weed in the Capitol, and I got chills. I felt a patriotic spirit when I watched that happen live on the inside. There was a lot.
Bro,
Dude, it was a lot of different stuff
democracy,
going on,
bro.
dude.
Like, what did they think was going to fucking happen? Right?
Well,
like, what?
Well,
like, you know,
they were primed because of the BLM riots. They were primed and they didn't give a shit.
yep.
They watched it be allowed to happen, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to be right wingers, somewhat politically naive, and we're going to do the right thing. And instead of destroying private property and fuck up our citizens' lives, fellow citizens' lives, we're going to go to the people that we have an issue with. Like, sure, if you're a Boy Scout, that's great, but you're fighting fucking demons, and this is exactly what they wanted you to do." So, I mean,
Yeah.
I understand both sides of it.
Yeah. No. Like, yeah, it's crazy. Man, I can't believe that was like, what, 5 years ago now?
So
Dude.
I'm going to give
Oh.
Nick a chance to respond to this, okay? I
Okay.
believe it's
Right. This is
135,
Nick.
and then I'm going to chew his ass out.
Okay. Let's go.
I said, all right, now this is where I was.
Volume
Take
up.
a look at where I am. You can see very clearly where I was on the Capitol complex. This is me with the megaphone
volume all the
right
way up?
here.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
Vince.
Okay.
That's my friend, former friend. Now, just soak in where I am. Look at this location in context of where the Capitol building is. Now, if you look and pay attention, on the Capitol complex, I was right here at the, I think it's called the Circle of Peace. I was right here giving that speech. And if you look it up, the Peace Circle. This is the Peace Circle. That is the statue where I gave the speech. Now, look at the picture here. Okay, you can see this is the Peace Circle. This is the video. That is the statue where I was. It's the same statue. Now, if you look at a map, it is 500 feet from the Capitol building. 500 feet from where the building actually is. Now, everybody that got arrested, either two or three things were true about them. There were close to 2,000 people that got charged on January 6th, and one of three things was true about all of them.
Uh-huh.
They were either charged with trespassing because they were on restricted grounds. They were charged with some form of violence or vandalism because of an altercation with media or police, or they broke something, Or third, they were involved in a militia. Out of 2,000 defendants, one of those things is true about all of them. This is the yellow line is where the barricades were. I was not on restricted grounds.
Okay.
These are the restricted grounds. I was not on them. I was 500 feet from the building.
All right.
When I said take...
Pause it.
Okay.
After Kyle Rittenhouse, I just love the idea that the federal government was like, drats, we can't charge him with anything.
What would we...
500 rule! He foiled again!
What would we charge him with?
Fucking, okay, well, Enrique Tarrio, who wasn't at January 6th, and he got 25 years for seditious conspiracy. And how did they charge him for that? They went through all of his text messages. You're telling me all of his Telegram chats and stuff like that. And they still had absolutely nothing on him. I've made videos on it. So you're telling me they couldn't have done the same thing for Nick Fuentes? Actually, do you have that the picture of the news article of the woman that was charged for 3 years? So NBC News, far-right extremist Riley Williams sentenced to 3 years in prison for storming the Capitol on January 6th. Federal prosecutors said Williams was obsessed with far-right white nationalist leader Nick Fuentes and led a mob toward Nancy Pelosi's office. Now, they said that she led a mob, okay? Sure. But they're invoking Nick Fuentes being a white nationalist leader. So he can say militia, but if he's the leader, he would be the leader of a group of people that they could have easily turned that into something if they wanted to. Federal prosecutors invoked Nick Fuentes in order to get people prison time, okay? This is the best evidence that he's a Fed. Nothing fucking happened to him. And you're telling me they couldn't have done it? Even though, like, domestic terrorism, none of it's on the left, all of it's on the white, all of it's on the white, all of it's on the right, and they just focus on white nationalism, white supremacy, and this is the most heightened time for that, to the point where Kyle Rittenhouse, Joe Biden, had a video that was making him when he was running for campaign, like he was a white nationalist. Like, during that time, it's the peak of targeting people for white nationalism. The kid that was on the steps in 2017, the Covington kids. And still, the dreaded 500-foot rule foiled again. They couldn't get him on anything. He knows the law too well. I don't know. This is the best.
I mean, okay. So it does rather depend on what the feds were trying to do, right?
Yeah.
So it is entirely possible that to sow sort of paranoia and division, they'll will arrest some people, not others, right? Like put out that they're a Fed. If that was the tactic, it's been extraordinarily successful, right? Because half of the people in the replies to the trailer video were like, he's a Fed, right? So I'm just saying, right, there are rule books for how to break up movements that you don't like, right? And a lot of the tricks behind them are extremely sneaky and underhanded.
I know,
right?
But even Nick's defense of it, he's like, I wasn't even going to say anything. Someone just gave me a megaphone and said, hey, you should say something today. So what he said was, charge the barricades and disregard the police. Like, fucking come on, dude. Oh, I didn't know I was going to be speaking.
It's very French Revolution. Actually, right? Like, if you think about it, like, man, the barricades, bring me the onions and snails, we will charge the palace,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. So that would be the best evidence, I think. I think that's just very strange that nothing happened to him. But invoking his name is enough to be additional evidence to get somebody else put in prison.
Yep. Right. So now we have the Owen Benjamin. Well, it's a hit piece. Right.
That's the Fed. And now this is the Edo part of it.
Yeah. the Fedo frog. Right. Okay. Let's play.
So 9:30 for the time.
9:30? Okay. I don't know why it's not set on that.
Because we did prep beforehand.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right. So he's basically saying not being with women doesn't make me gay. Sounds like something someone who is gay would say, but whatever.
So
It makes me not gay.
Fat accusations.
Because
fat accusations.
think about it this way. Yeah. A gay people do date girls all the time. And when I said on Elijah Schaefer's show, and they said, have you ever been in a romantic relationship? Have you ever had sex with a girl? And I said, no. If you name searched me on Twitter, as I always do, all these gay people are coming out and saying, I've had more girlfriends.
Here's him openly admitting that he knows Ali Alexander is a pedophile and gay, and Elijah Schaefer is gay.
Is that Elijah Schaefer? Fucking faggot. Is it? No, it's not him. I thought it was him. He was so gay for me. He's horrible. A CPAC? Yeah. Hold on, what you drink? Maybe a minute ago. What's going on here? Him and Ali was out here. I was like, I took Owen's short. I was like, Owen, Ali's a pedo, right? And he's like, why's everybody say that? I'm like, dude, come on. Yeah, are you serious? How do people not know?
And he's like, I work for Infowars, so I don't really deal with that. That's some bullshit right there.
He said what?
Owen Schroyer was giving me the bullshit. Oh, I don't really know about Ali. I just work for Infowars. That's my job.
Oh, were you asking about
Ali hit on me hard.
Oh.
And was like, asked me how tall I was, what kind of alcohol I drank. He was like, hey, if you want to come do chores for me, let me know.
Oh,
So remember that Fuentes knew about Ali Alexander. For a later clip I'm going to show you, after it's revealed and exposed that Ali Alexander is one of his right-hand guys, was getting underage nudes from his male listeners. This is why I warn people about Fuentes all the time. Who is Ali Alexander? Well, according to him, he's the one who orchestrated January 6th.
I was the person who came up with the January 6th idea with Congressman Gosar, Congressman Mo Brooks, and then Congressman Andy Biggs. We four schemed up of putting maximum pressure on Congress while they were voting so that who we couldn't lobby, we could change the hearts and the minds of Republicans who were in that body hearing our loud war from outside.
And remember January 6th, we'll get back to that. So Ali Alexander, who's a high-ranking groyper in this army, was caught. And I believe he was arrested and charged with soliciting pornographic material from a minor.
So this is not true that he was arrested and charged, as far as we could find out.
For the record, Owen Benjamin's pretty fucking crazy. He's pretty fucking crazy. But he does give some substantive things of Ali Alexander. Ali Alexander. Can you show the picture of him? Can you show the picture of him that I sent you?
Yeah. Wait,
somebody called me out for being a civic nationalist in the chat. Fair enough. Call me out whenever you want. But I just want you to see what one of these groypers look like. One of these high-ranking groypers who was at January 6th, essentially directing Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes of what to do, calling shots. He thinks a lot of himself.
I mean, this photo's from 2007, so this is quite a while before.
Can you put it up?
J6. Oh wait, sorry. Didn't share the tab.
What is his name? Read me his fucking name. What is his name?
Ali Akbar.
His name is Ali Abdul Razak Akbar. That's his name. And he didn't step down because he looks like that. He stepped down because he was getting stinky with male minors. Now there was text messages. I got some stuff that's kind of questionable. I really like to show things that I'm completely certain of, but he bowed out, and apparently he has SSA, same-sex attraction is what they say.
There was a scandal. All I'm saying is he wasn't charged, right? I'm not saying there wasn't anything sussy going on, right?
He was flirting.
Quite the opposite. Just that Owen seems to be incorrect that he was charged. That's all.
Correct. That is not verified. Give us another minute of this.
Okay.
And everyone knew it. Nick knew it. He laughed about it. He thought it was funny. Here is Nick explaining himself.
Massive movement politically to take over the country. And that involves a great deal of associations. And sometimes they're not all good. It's as simple as that. If you have a problem with that, well, you try to build something. That's what I would say. Our countries and movements and things are going to be ground to pieces because of bad faith attacks over sexual impropriety. If we're talking about rape and murder and things like that, okay. But when we're talking about flirting, give me a fucking break. Honestly. Yeah, and I know that's not a good look, whatever. But that's how I feel about it, to tell you the truth. That's going to be, they think that's a silver bullet. Well, but this guy flirted with people who were 15. Yeah, and that's gross. That's fucking gross. I think anybody would say it's gross. It's gross because it's gay. It's gross because it goes against the age. But this is some great moral condemnation. Yeah.
Touching your nose a lot there, Fuentes. And also bear in mind the language he's using is still showing his supporters.
Pause it. Now he's like psychoanalyzing him and he's fucking crazy. So, fair enough. Where actually, do you have the video with Ali Akbar?
Wait.
His name is Ali Akbar.
Wait. Okay, so wait. Before we do that, let's do the Wikipedia page, right?
Oh, fair enough.
So this is the Wikipedia page for Ali Alexander, right? And normally I would not use Wikipedia as a source, but given how left wing Wikipedia is, right? If he was charged, right, and there was like a big scandal, it would be on Wikipedia, like 110%, right? So this is what's on Wikipedia. Alexander had allegedly offered one boy the chance to become politically connected and to meet Milo Yiannopoulos in exchange for explicit material. Hey, you want to meet Milo, right? Send him a dick pic. Oof. Like such a bunch of degenerates, right?
It's plausible, though. What you're reading does sound plausible.
Yeah. So Fuentes, another far-right activist with ties to Alexander, was himself criticized for allegedly pressuring one of Alexander's accusers to recant. Fuentes later said that Alexander had pledged to withdraw completely from public life due to the scandal. So it was a scandal, right? He wasn't arrested and charged. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene posted on Twitter to condemn Alexander, also claiming that Fuentes was, quote, in on it and calling for an FBI investigation. Alexander subsequently laid blame for the accusations on Greene, claiming she had paid Milo to make allegations against him in an attempt to intimidate him out of reporting evidence that she had committed a crime. So I don't know like about any of that, right? This sounds like this is some very
creep.
He said, she said, kind of like
a sex
shit,
pest.
You know what I mean?
No crime. It's a sex pest.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Alexander identifies as a Catholic, Black, and Arab.
Ooh.
Okay, that's an unfortunate combination. As of November 2020, he lives in Texas. He has stated he is bisexual and is battling with same-sex attraction. Right.
Now,
so,
guys, it was pretty. I just need everyone to just remember. Try to remember how impossible it was to be pro-white from like before 2023, right? Really, like since X was purchased by Elon, and it's a cesspool and everything. Like, really, there's been a pro-white resurgence. This guy was in on the America First movement, dude. That's how even Enrique Tarrio for the Proud Boys. This is where they came up with multiracial white supremacy. This is why everybody was like, "All right, dude, fuck it, we're going all white. There's no peace in these people."
So the source for that Wikipedia claim, by the way, is this article from the Daily Beast. Stop the Steal organizer apologizes after being accused of asking teen boys for dick pics. Now, you could hardly claim that the Daily Beast is an impartial outlet either, right? I don't know.
Real quick,
I apologize.
Real quick, Total Blackout painting. I condemn him because his name is Ali Akbar. I just expect him to be a pedophile with a name like that. I mean, look at the cover of the book. Look at the cover of the book. Now imagine what the fucking story is.
So he says he apologized for any inappropriate messages sent over the years. So he apologized, okay, right? But he was not charged.
That's like admitting fault, though. But wait. He was being creepy.
Wait. Alexander stands at the center of a scandal that raises questions about how powerful men in the far right treat their younger acolytes. This is too gay Alexander said in a statement issued Friday that addressed the allegations in broad terms. This is too gay. Oh my god! So like this is
pull up January 6th though real quick. I just want to show you this isn't some random guy. I want you to see how he's talking to them and how he's like commanding control over them. This isn't, yeah.
Well, I mean, he said, right, that he thought up January 6th, right? And he had contacts with people in Congress, right? So he's
That's
effectively...
as fuck that you're going to admit that. I organized January 6th. You out of your fucking mind? You're connected with Nick Fuentes and you're going to say that? The whole thing stinks!
I mean, wouldn't it be more likely that Ali was a Fed, right? Like, why wasn't he arrested for the dick pics, right? Why was he arrested for like January?
Organizing the fucking thing.
Just saying.
Alex, they certify. I'm sorry. I'm not trying not to. They certify the vote here, right? We're inside. Let's not leave.
We're not crowdsourcing.
No, I'm being serious.
We're not the left. We're not going to democratize ideas.
That's how we can stop the certification.
Listen to me.
Peaceful.
Listen
peaceful.
to me.
It's not a bad idea.
Listen to me.
What? Peaceful sit-in. That's what we'll call it.
Here we go. If the hillbillies make up all the ideas, then we're going to lose the country. So put aside your pride. Listen to me. We're going to stop the steal, but first we're going to stop the certification.
Well, it's not good to fight. It's okay to...
Yeah?
How are we going to do that?
Sorry,
Uppity.
let's talk about it later. It's good.
Okay.
You're not understanding this shit, right?
Uppity guy.
All right.
It's okay to have ideas. Everybody's fine.
Yeah.
It's an idea, man.
Just lose the republic. The ideas are fun.
Well, listen,
He's
can
a
have
little
ideas as private
limp-wristed.
citizens.
Yes.
But we have our ideas. The point is, this is good. Everybody came here. We're kicking ass. It's wonderful.
I'm just talking out loud with ideas, man.
It's good, brother. I love it.
You know?
Okay, we're good. I just wanted to show
I'm not
that.
trying to anybody, believe me.
AOC.
One team, one goal.
Yeah. Alex.
He's really trying to swing his dick around. That's not a small fry right there. That's right hand man. He looks
look at this face, mate. Right, like if you met this dude in a nightclub,
he looks like Scammy Davis Jr.
He does. Oh my god!
How is he not like? He has a severe underbite.
Yep.
That right there. Not only his parents, also his grandparents were cousins. That's degenerative. Okay. He did say he was Arab. That's an underbite for the ages. Braces ain't doing shit with that, man. That's jaw surgery. That boy look ragged.
Man, we're going faster than we thought. We're on the last video.
No.
Right.
We got the when Nick Fuentes was on Alex Jones. It's a good chunky video.
Do we? Where?
Yeah, you downloaded it. It's not going to be in your tab. It's downloaded.
It's downloaded? Is it on the Telegram chat?
You download it from Telegram already. Wherever you download things, it's downloaded to your computer already.
Right. Okay, for some weird reason, it's not in the...
So
it's not this thing.
So
okay,
let me buy us some time right now. So Nick Fuentes recently talked to Alex Jones. Bless Alex Jones' heart. I don't know how anyone watches Alex Jones. He will ramble. I'm trying to edit a video on Nick Fuentes talking to Alex Jones, and oh my God, Alex Jones will on one hand say we have limited time, and on the other hand, he said something like, yeah, I mean, everywhere I go, people are talking about you. I mean, not the guy that like cleans my pool. He's not talking about you, but when I go to the grocery store, I go to the gas station, they're talking about you. They're asking questions. He's talking about where
we only have limited time. I'd better only ramble for like another half an hour. Like,
he
buy my supplements.
He literally ends what he said, and I wanted to include this in the video because you wouldn't believe me otherwise. He goes, so that's the end of my 15-minute rant, is verbatim what he said. 15 fucking minutes! And then after that was another 7-minute one! And he's not exactly adding to the conversation. You know, Alex Jones has a tendency to completely glaze whoever he's talking to. He really build them up, call him a great guy. Yeah, dude, we get it. So let's try and get to the heart of the actual matter. And
Like, Alex really rambles. I was actually watching this live, and you can see like Nick just being like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, get on with it!" Like, he's just slowly getting more like, "Oh, dude, hilarious."
Well, that's the thing about Nick Fuentes. He's media trained from the internet. No one taught him how to be media trained, as far as I can see.
Yeah,
he just figured this shit out. Is what it looks like anyway.
All right, let's get into Alex Jones at Infowars. Buy my barbecue sauce. You can eat your neighbors with it. It's excellent.
Nick J. Fuentes on Rumble. Find you on X as well. Thank you for being here. You got the floor.
Yes, well, thank you for having me. It has been certainly a strange couple of weeks with everything that's gone on. And, you know, I've seen people characterize it on Twitter, the sort of feud that's been going on with Candace, with Tucker, with Elon, with all these different figures. And I don't know that you would characterize it this way, but I've seen other people say this. They say it's infighting. And I don't really like that term because I don't think it does justice to what actually.
This is rhetorically a brilliant fucking move. He doesn't consider it infighting because do you think he thinks they're in his in-group?
Yep.
That's not infighting to him. You have to be in to be infighting. And this, he's specifically referring to Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, which, if you think about it, like, these are some pretty powerful people, right?
I mean, this is a
They're doing everything to try and not talk about him.
This is a very different tactic to the way this would usually go, right? From people like from Tucker's position, right? Usually they'd be like, oh no, you know, don't cast me out, right? Like, don't, you know, hurt my show, don't hurt my advertising revenue, right? Whereas Nick's basically doing the exact opposite. He's like, well, I don't want to be part of your like faggy club, right? Which is,
dude,
you know,
he made Cozy, like he made his own streaming service. And at a certain point, it was just costing him too much money. So he was like, okay, well, there's no point. Like, it's just costing me money. So
plus Rumble opened up, right?
Exactly.
Like, you know, when Cozy was around, like Rumble was still really, really small. And then, you know, Alex got on Rumble. Alex Jones got on Rumble and like a few other people. And now like Rumble is like, you know, quite respectable, and Trump winning like really helped a lot because everybody knew that if Biden got back in, they were going to like try and shut Rumble down.
Yeah, well, hopefully their fucking UI becomes respectable, dude. I'm trying to use Rumble. It's fucking rough.
Mate, you know, I like Rumble. I get like a majority of my views on Rumble, right?
Yeah.
But like their discovery is just, it's crap, mate, right?
Not even the discovery, their UI, just using it. Like, I was playing a video and it was randomly playing in the background after I thought I closed the video, and then I open up the Rumble app and I can't find the video, and it's in my bar at the top, and I have to physically I'm gonna fucking oh my god, dude! I immediately become 80 years old when I use Rumble. I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be better.
Yeah, they need some like younger coders or something. But then again, right, like they're probably like worried if they like hire any coders under the age of like 40, right? They'll like sabotage it or something. They'll be like, yeah, you racist, you got to sabotage your site, right? Like, okay, let's get on with it.
Really took place, which is that you and I were both really on top of this back in June. There was a war in Iran. It really all goes back to this, at least for me. And I think, you know, you asked me to kind of take the 20,000 foot view, the 30,000 foot view. To me, the 30,000 foot view has so much to do with the populist movement, with Trump, and with the situation in Iran as it has unfolded over the past few years. So going back to June, you and I were on this. I was doing these big streams covering the war. I did your show. You were doing huge streams covering the war in Iran. It was blowing up. I do this show with Candace Owens, who I've had a little drama with her in the past. I've also helped her in the past. So we've had kind of a relationship which has been characterized by sometimes friendliness, but sometimes negativity. And without relitigating the entire drama, we do a interview in the middle of the war, and we don't talk about the war at all. We don't talk about Trump. We don't talk about, our cancellation, the Daily Wire, any of these things. She's pressing me about drama, things like this. Now, some people thought it was an interesting interview. A lot of people are disappointed in what we talked about, or maybe what we did not talk about. Needless to say, there was this big reaction to how she handled it, and that it was behind a paywall, all these things. Then she goes on Tucker, and Tucker Carlson calls me a fed. I do this big reaction stream to that. Clearly, that accusation backfires. Now, I don't know Tucker. I've never met him. I've never talked to him. But he seems to without watching my show or knowing me, he seems to think that he knows exactly what I'm about and made a very serious accusation. Not only did he say that I'm an asset of the left or of the federal government, he says, but I'm this weird gay kid in my basement from Chicago, and who is this guy and all this stuff. This backfires. And then a week later, I get Elon Musk replying to Milo, accusing me of being a Fed. And you take this whole thing together, and I wouldn't characterize that as infighting.
Like, Elon, like, just, these aren't small fries. These are the leaders of the dissident right movement, so to speak. Not the leaders, but the most popular. How would you categorize, like Tucker,
Look,
Candace, Milo?
They are MAGA, okay, right? So they're like America, right? But we're black and we're queer and we love the nation of Israel, right? It's like, we're not going, like, we're still internationalists, right? We're just not globalists, right? We'll still like bomb Iran, right? But we won't do a ground invasion, right? So this is not only sort of a clearly distinct position from people like Fuentes, right? Who are, obviously is not keen on the Jays in particular, right?
Yeah.
But Fuentes is like a pure isolationist, right? Like if he got into power, he'd probably basically try and withdraw the US from the rest of the world and let China and Russia take the rest of it over, right? And all the foreign policy people would just be like, no, we have to maintain like a gajillion military bases in Europe and South America and no. And, in a sense, they're sort of right? Like in the sense that if America like literally just withdrew entirely from the world stage and became like sort of, all inward facing like China, right? Like the whole world would probably go to shit. But probably from Fuentes' point of view, right? He doesn't give a crap, right? And I can understand that because like America
he wants to see it for once in his lifetime,
Yeah, well, look, America has its own problems, right? And so does the UK, so does all of the West, right? And this is increasingly the problem with like late stage empire, right? This was true of the British Empire. The problems of empire, like the foreign problems of empire, become more important than the interests of your actual local population, right? And the locals fucking hate that, right? Because you're always like, we have to go and save the poor Ukrainians. Bitch, what about London, right? Like, what about the UK? Like, what the fuck are you doing, right? Like, we can't protect our border, but we'll protect Ukraine's. Like, we literally can't stop inflatable boats coming across the goddamn English Channel, but we have to defend the border of Ukraine, right? Like, I'm not saying, personally speaking, right, that, the West should abandon the rest of the world like entirely, but for fuck's sake, right, you've got to have some sense of priority, right? Like, you can't just be like, oh, well, fuck those people like on the ground in the country that supposedly freaking elected me, right? Like, who cares about them? I'm going to jet halfway across the world. And also, right, in this situation, all of these wars become retarded. When was the last time the US actually fought a war for the defense of America, right? Or the UK fought a war for the defense of the UK?
Well, those are freezing cold wars, okay? Those are very subversive wars. Those are different.
No, we send our soldiers halfway across the world, right, to like shoot sand people so we can guarantee like global heroin supplies, right? Like, and then all the soldiers come back with PTSD, and we're like, oh gee, why do the soldiers have PTSD? Because they weren't defending their country. They weren't defending their families. They weren't. If those soldiers died, right, defending their families, defending their countrymen, defending something they loved and believed in, they wouldn't have PTSD at all, right? They'd grow old. They'd kick back, drinking beer, right, show their war wounds off to their grandchildren, and be like, yeah, that's right. Those motherfuckers came over here and I shot them in the face and it feels great, right? When you're going over to like literal like sand people, right? And you're like Afghanistan, you're like basically defending a bunch of boy fuckers, right? Because you signed a treaty with the Kandaharis, right? Like, and so you're sleeping in your military base, like hearing the cries of abused children, right? From like your goddamn allies, like, oh God. So yeah, I have sympathy for his
But
position. Mate.
but let's reintroduce the Fed accusations. So what
Okay.
is how what so what they're not gonna debate him because he's like a Fed or like they're I hate this bitchy thing, and this is what a lot of people do not respect is treating him like Voldemort. You can feel the leftist and mooish tactics of like, yeah, you know, some gay kid in Chicago and like just brushing him off like that, but also calling him a Fed. Like it's just it's the passive nature of it. But like, so let's say like he is a Fed then. Like, are Feds known for debating? Like, I don't understand. Are Feds
Look, man,
blood sports?
Someone always has to be Voldemort, right? Voldemort is actually a very useful social engineering tool, right? Because you can use like Voldemort to define the edge of reasonable debate, right? Which is what Alex Jones used to be, by the way, right? Let us not forget, right? You'd be like, oh, well, you know, I think COVID's like full of shit, you know, but I'm not like Alex Jones, right? And now Alex Jones has basically become mainstream because so many people realize that he was right. So they need a new Voldemort, right? Voldemort is really, really useful. Like, you know, let's not forget that.
Yeah, I really like to highlight how these powerful people are attacking him and calling him a Fed. Like Elon Musk is calling him a Fed. Like,
yeah.
And then he makes a good point where like he can't even go on YouTube to defend himself. Like he still has limited platforms where he can go to and like talk to like a massive audience. He still has to talk to people behind a veneer.
I mean, the thing is, right, at this point, if they ban him from Twitter, there's just going to be like a million Groyper accounts like reposting his shit, right? Like he's basically sort of impossible to cancel really at this point, right? Like, you know, what they're going to go after is like,
for streaming, he has Cozy to always go back to. So like
yeah, exactly. Oh wait, we got a super chat from name taken for $10. Oh, thank you very much, name taken.
Awfully generous, mate. Fuck.
If Nick is really compromised, then the FBI must have really dropped the ball by allowing that psychopath to show up on his doorstep, armed, threatening him on his Ring doorbell. How the fuck did that happen? Yeah, that's a good point. On the other hand, right, making people Voldemort does tend to do that. I mean, you know, that's an interesting thing that I had not considered, right? Do we know whether the dude that showed up at his house armed, right, was he a Fed? Do we have any knowledge on who that person was?
We don't know who left the bomb at January 6th, okay? These things are never going to be fucking figured out. They don't give a shit to find that out.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Oh, yeah, God, the pipe bombs at January 6th, right?
Yeah, the forgotten bomb.
Freaking Hillary Clinton in a hoodie.
Think like about shuffling bomb sometimes.
And a pipe bomb for you, and a pipe bomb for you.
Don't look under your seat.
It's like pipe bomb Christmas.
You'll know if there's one there. All right,
let's go.
I would say what that looks like to me is a coordinated attack. I think it stinks. I think it reeks of coordination because it's the same types of accusations coming from people that are all connected to each other. Elon replied to Milo. Milo did a show with Candace the week before. Candace did the show with Tucker the week before that. And Candace and Tucker did a show right around the time that she quit Daily Wire. So it's like all these people know each other. They're all connected and clearly talking in the same, 2 to 3 week period. They're all saying the same things. And so it stinks to me like this is kind of like an avalanche. It's almost like a backlash against my popularity. And for me, the big question is this. I think everybody's assumption based on what has taken place in the past year and a half, ever since the war in Gaza, obviously there's this mass awakening about Israel and the influence of Israel and how that is detrimental to the United States, that we're being drawn into this conflict. We're backing a genocide. It's $30 billion in aid. It's World War III, all these things. And these figures like Candace and Tucker in particular, they rise to the surface and are elevated.
Can I just point something out, by the way, right?
Sure.
It is more than $30 billion, right? It is definitely more than $30 billion. So I came across this story the other day, right? You know what a municipal bond is, Artie, right?
No, I
Do
don't know
you know?
anything. I'm fat.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So councils and states, right, frequently when they've got like extra cash lying around, okay, they need to like
Yep.
store a bit of cash. They will buy bonds, okay? Now, usually there are rules saying that these organizations, right, state governments, councils, and all this kind of other shit, right, can only buy very specific kinds of bonds, okay? Specifically high rated bonds, right? Like double
Okay.
A or triple A rated bonds, okay? Because these ratings, right, basically determine not only the interest rate, but how likely you are to get paid, right? Now, you're never going to believe this, right? You're going to be shocked to hear this, right? But it turns out that there's a new law that basically says that Israel gets like a massive fat exception on this, right? And combined with like BDS laws, well, it wouldn't really be appropriate if you didn't buy our bonds. Now, the thing is, right? The Israeli economy is basically on the verge of collapse, number one. And number two,
Okay.
the Israelis are notorious for just taking the money and running, right? Like when it comes to like small organizations and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these state and local governments are effectively being coerced into buying these Israeli bonds, right? So they buy the bonds, the money goes to Israel, and then supposedly, right, the way a bond works is that you get like a coupon back over, say, like 10 years, right? And then they give you the amount that you spent on the bond back, right? These bonds are unrated, right? Like, so there's no ratings agency that would even touch them, because if they did, right, they'd probably be rated like junk, right? Which means they wouldn't be able to invest in them. But for some reason, the rules do not apply. So it is more than 30 billion. There's probably a ton of schemes like that. I reckon if you added all of the money being sucked out of America to Israel, right, it would be much, much more, because that's how these people roll. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Well, I mean, you're right. Usually when we estimate these things, it's like what's recorded is what we're estimating, when in actuality, it's beyond what's recorded.
Well, I mean, what's the use in owning a country like America, right, if you're limited to $30 billion? I can't, like, that's chump change, my dude, right? $30 billion, right? Like, no, we need more than that.
They just share money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to the video, right?
Whereas Tucker was at Fox News and Candace was at Daily Wire, suddenly they are these major critics of Israel. They're major critics of what's going on. Now, to the layperson, you would say, they're kind of meeting me where I was. I've been on this, as you know, for 10 years. I was known as the anti-Semite. I was known as the anti-Israel guy. Now, the layperson would say Candace and Tucker are kind of coming around. They woke up. They got red-pilled. They're on the right side now. They're pushing the truth. And that's why there's this strangeness that it reeks of coordination. It reeks of this coordinated attack. And from the least likely people, you would think the attack would come from the usual suspects, like a Ben Shapiro, a Charlie Kirk, who I have feuded with over the years, who are very pro-Israel.
Yeah, so they're usually very pro-Israel, and it's almost like he's stepping on their territory. They're like, hey, we just figured this Israel thing out right now. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, look,
kind of feel like that?
You got to understand, America foist, but Israel foister, right? like that's literally the way it goes, man, right? Like, it's always like, America first, right? Like, but Israel as well, like, obviously, right? Like, why can't, right, Americans run their own fucking country, right? This is the unanswered question. It's not just America. There are like other countries. Like, why do they have to constantly make allowances for this other country? Big allowances, right? They can't have an independent foreign policy, right? They can't have independent speech policy, social media policy, any of this kind of like stuff. They always have to like figure Israel into the equation, right? And I understand, right? Like, why many people in America are pissed off about this, right? You deserve your own country, right? Like, they get their own country. Why can't we have one? Anyway.
Well, I know, but they don't. I just sent you a video to download on Telegram too, so download that video.
Oh, okay. We got another video. Okay. Well, I think I've got the Tate one coming up.
Yeah,
you
just-
want the Tate
yeah,
one next, or
Just download that video.
okay.
So at the end of the day, okay, there's criticisms about Nick Fuentes. Surely any brave man isn't going to live a perfect life. He's going to do weird catboy stuff. I didn't include the catboy stuff. It's really uncomfortable. It's really weird.
I did send you all those Murdoch clips.
It's really weird. But everyone has a different line, okay? Like, just where is your line? Who else has been calling out Israel for as long as he's been calling out Israel? And what he's saying is just so present and blatant that it's like illegal in like 19 countries. This is the last stop, fellas, to say these things. I mean, can you say what Nick Fuentes says in the UK?
Are you freaking kidding me? Like, he would be so arrested. Like, it's not even funny, man. Right? Like, it would just like, yeah, he would be like totally arrested like a bajillion times.
Say what you want
if
about
he was
him.
anywhere in the EU, Australia, the UK, but anywhere else in the West. This is one of the reasons why I have such a warm place in my heart for you Ameri Bros, right? Because you really can speak your goddamn mind. I really appreciate that, because for all of the, we're a liberal democracy. We believe in like human rights, right? They don't, right? Freedom of speech is the most fundamental human right that there is, right? And every single year they nibble away, freedom of speech as long as you don't make someone uncomfortable. Freedom of speech as long as you don't cause harm and distress. Like, fuck off. I hate it.
The most important. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying we got a super chat from Ardent Party. 9 p.m. EST, Fandom Friday, Rumble channel, Ardent Plays. That'll be on after this. Go and check it out, bros. That's some cheap advertising there, Ardent. Thank you for the super chat.
But I forgot what I was going to say. So I also want to show so Nick Fuentes is modeled after what the fuck is this? Pat Buchanan, okay? So if you go in the in our Telegram, the one that says Gabe, the video, I want to show you guys a Pat Buchanan political commercial from the year 2000. Okay.
Okay, hang on, loading now. Sorry, yeah. I downloaded the the thing you sent me. Right, hang on. I'm getting it.
So this is he's called himself a paleo conservative for years, and when I was watching him in 2019, I didn't necessarily know what that was. And then through James Lindsay, I just researched whatever he tells me to not look at, and I did it in a video, and I was like, this guy told the future. So this is from the year 2000. What?
I do that as well. Anything James Lindsay tells me not to watch, I immediately go watch. Oh, we got a super chat. Colin Christensen for $20. Crikey, mate. Thank you very much.
Christ!
Isn't it weird that he wasn't prosecuted for his actions on January 6th?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to believe he isn't entangled with the feds somehow after pulling that stunt. Yes, we did indeed actually cover that.
Yeah. That is weird.
In the middle of the show. It is weird. But you know,
it's hard to defend.
It is what it is.
As I said, that is without question the best evidence that he's a Fed. Without question.
Right. So Pat Buchanan, the paleo conservative. Let's check it out. I mean, it sounds a bit scary. I mean, James Lindsay thinks he's a bad dude. So he clearly he's not one of those woke rightists, is he, Artie? Save me. I don't want to listen to the woke right. They're in my dreams, right? They're stealing my spoons.
This is back when it was still Nokia phones and you were playing Snake on your Nokia phone, okay? This is the year 2000. This is before social media.
Good times, bro. Good times.
An executive order saying that English is no longer America's national language. It's Executive Order 13136.
Thank you for calling 911. Please listen for your language. For Spanish, press 1. For Korean, press 2.
Do you ever miss English? Immigration is out of control. Bush and Gore are writing off English for good. What can you do? Vote for the third party that puts Americans first. Vote Buchanan for president.
For Swahili, press 12.
Can you believe he's like that guy?
He's not fucking wrong. Like,
dude, we should do a Pat Buchanan stream because he just tells the future. It's everything he was warning about, being called anti-Semitic, all the same criticisms, and he's just being treated like he's crazy, and he was just completely right 25 years ago. I mean, 40 years ago.
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
But
it's
that's
funny
who
how
Nick
that
Fuentes
works.
is modeled after, and then this is how they make him seem.
And they're all like, oh, that's crazy. That would never happen. Right. And then like 10 years, you're like, yep. So that totally happened. Right.
Yeah. If you want, so now put on the
Alex
the
Jones
other
one?
Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones. Yeah, because it really was a good conversation where Nick he's such an effective communicator. He's the exact opposite of Alex Jones.
Man, like there's a whole generation of these dudes just hothouse raised on internet blood sports, right? And we're just seeing them like hit their late 20s. It's like weird. Like you couldn't really imagine someone like Fuentes like in any other era. You know what I mean, right? Like just like grown like from a baby, right? On internet blood sports. The future is so fucking weird, man. Right. Okay. Let's go.
Telling me to do that. I'm getting money to do it. I'm like, fly too close to the sun here. But it doesn't matter. That's where we are anyways. And so it's kind of damn the maneuvers, go straight at them. So that's my rant. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of how it feels, it's a little bit frustrating because I feel like for as long as I've been doing my show, for as long as I've been doing this, and as much as people talk about my motivations or who I really work for, this kind of stuff, all I've ever really wanted is for people to listen to my ideas. It's just to listen. And what I think really resonated with people when I clapped back on Tucker, it wasn't even so much, I spent 3 hours talking about the CIA and all this stuff. The part that resonated was the very end of the show where I addressed the personal attacks because
Wait, we got another super chat. Christos for £5. Crikey. If I make a doctor's appointment in the UK, I always ask for someone that speaks English. Yeah.
I know. But the psyop, the mass form psychosis, the demoralization, the destabilization is the feeling of being rude before doing that in your own fucking country. That's how you know they really have a hold on a person,
Yeah. And it's just like crap as well, right? Like it's like dealing with the NHS now is like basically dealing with like a cable company, right? Like, they like give you the runaround and like, when you like finally get to the end, right? Like it's not like what you want. It's bloody horrible. Well, I feel your pain, Christos.
I actually had to explain to a foreigner in my own country that English isn't our national language. You know that, right? That the United States doesn't have an official language.
Well, I've always assumed that it was American English.
Well, like, you're a fucking idiot. It's gonna be Spanish, dipshit.
I thought it was Ebonics blood.
Yeah. It's the only language they speak and they can't speak it. It's cavemen. It's modern day cavemen.
I have been reliably informed that the actual term for Ebonics is American Vernacular English, right?
African American Vernacular English.
And it's a beautiful and diverse culture all of its own, bro, right? Yeah, I think you need to get educated.
Those clips are hilarious. Have I ever shown you like legitimate videos that are like 10 minutes where a guy goes to a school and he's like, this is a legitimate dialect and we just start teaching teachers how to speak this. And he's like, as if it's an academic lesson doing Negro speak. It's incredible.
Bro,
I think it's hilarious because I have no choice but to, or I'm going to paint the walls red if I don't.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
In addition to him insinuating that I work for intelligence or something like that, he said I'm a weird gay kid in a basement from Chicago. I'm a child. And in the clip that went viral on TikTok and Twitter, I said, did you forget when you did that part of your show, that you're always pandering to the young white men? Isn't that kind of like the lead? Isn't that like the story of the past 10 years? Is the young white men who have no meaning in their lives, who are struggling to get married, who can't afford a home, who don't feel any allegiance to the country. They don't feel like they're a part of the country. There's no society. There's no social fabric. It's like, did you forget that, you know, those are the people that you purport to care about, that you're trying to win over? You're defending their interests. And in the clip, I said, I am that guy. Like, I'm up.
But he just does a great job of owning it. He's like, yeah, I am an incel. Yeah, I do live in the basement. And then all of a sudden he's going to act like it seriously hurts his feelings. And he's like, oh, wow. So I thought you were speaking, you know, he's the only one speaking out to that community where it's just a pejorative. And he took that pejorative. It's his N-word. He reclaimed incel.
Yeah, and in a sense, right, he's doing actually very effectively what a bunch of minority communities have done before, right? Where, like, you know, you take that accusation and you're like, yeah, I am, right? You know, I am low class. I am in my mum's basement, right? Like, you know, fuck you. I think it's good. I really relate to this. Like, you know, this demographic has just been ignored for so long, right? And I don't know whether you hung out on 4chan or not, but you must have seen like the tap the sign meme, right? Like, you know, now we need white boys to go and like die for Israel, right? We got to start a war with Iran. So, you know, you better get engaged again, white boys, right? You know, we need you.
But this just destabilizes our military, because why would you go to the military? Like, they just crumbled nationalism in every fucking respect. There's nothing to be nationalistic about. Just the issue. Nationalism cures a lot of societal ills. When you're doing something for your fellow man and your country, and you have an actual community across the nation, but building that back up is people like Nick Fuentes. Oddly enough. If not Nick Fuentes, call out the moose, then who? That's what I want to know. Okay, he's a pedophile. Cool. Who else is gonna do it? All right. The slaves dip some cream in their coffee. Okay. They stir. Yeah.
Don't you know that nationalism is collectivism, and collectivism is bad, right? We need to embrace the power of the individual, so we can fucking shoot you one by one. I
tried that.
And none of you will ever stand up for yourself.
Nobody
right?
do it. Nobody do it. It doesn't work at all.
We don't want to succumb to collectivism, like the family or the nation, right? Like, oh God, I hate this shit so much, man. Every single thing that any human society has ever produced has been based on some kind of collectivism. What the fuck do you think an army is? Collectivism. What do you think a government is? Collectivism, right? A nation, an ethnicity,
are you talking
right?
to James Lindsay in your head right now?
Sometimes. He does annoy me. I gotta say. Oh, we got another super chat. Deadpool Kid for $5. Thank you very much, mate. I'm waiting for American blacks to find out that they're going to be a bigger minority, and that Haitian Somalis have nothing in common with them. Yeah, for real. Have you seen those like videos where they go back to Africa and all the Africans fucking hate them?
So I just,
they're like, hello, fellow black kids, right? I was black like you, right? And they're all like, what the fuck is your problem?
I'd like to take a moment to just, as bad as things are, okay, imagine how much trouble we'd be in if there was no Hitler, okay? Really cut down the numbers. But imagine how much trouble we'd be in if blacks didn't abort themselves and kill themselves so often. Oh my God, we'd be in so much fucking trouble, dude. So, as bad as it is, it could be twice, 3 times, 5 times as bad.
Shit.
Of that demographic. I'm 26 years old. I was born in 98. I'm Generation Z. I said, and like the Turning Point students, the chapter leaders, like all these people, I went to a selective school. I dropped out. I come from a working class family. College was very expensive. I got canceled because I supported Trump in the 2016 election. You know, he woke me up. Like, I went through all these things that they're always talking about. I'm facing these challenges they're always talking about. You know, anything that you want to say, incel, racist, Trump supporter, like, I represent all those different kind of.
I can't see his full name. Can you read that?
Yeah, we got another super chat. $20 from Colin Christensen. Again, thank you, crikey.
Oh, mate. Jesus Christ.
Nick says many of the right things, but I feel he's far too toxic towards women. How are we going to have nationalism when he keeps encouraging young men to push them away? Women who are supposedly becoming more left-wing. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why
right?
I said earlier he's a kamikaze missile towards global Jewry. But he's not, and so that's why when he invokes Christianity, I can understand why Christians would be like, "You're a genetic dead end."
Yep,
and you're not really creating.
There is, however, particularly in Catholicism, a tradition of chastity, right? Like, so it's not as opposed to Christianity as you would think necessarily, right?
I know, but like, for example, like Gavin McGinnis has created hundreds of babies. He's had people call in and tell him, you know what, you told me to just shut the fuck up and just start having kids now, and I don't regret it. Like, he really platforms like having a family and having kids and really pushing it and saying, dude, you'll make money, it'll make you into a better man. So like with Nick, he's a leader, but he doesn't have the kids, but he has the religious backing, but he doesn't seem too interested. And it's what he was saying about like how he talks about women and stuff like that. Like, he's not cherishing women necessarily. He's really a kamikaze missile to Israel. But I can understand if religious people definitely push him away. But I mean, I'm thinking about this consequentially, where I'm just like, no one else is doing what he's doing. So unfortunately, I need to see where it goes. I just need to see how this timeline ends out of my own morbid curiosity. I can't fucking hop on the guy's fucking dick for everything he does. But I'm just like, let me just see what he is also going to do. He's getting pretty close to something crazy here, you know?
Yeah, it's highly entertaining. I agree. He's basically sort of like a sort of political suicide bomber, like, essentially. You know what I mean? We got a super chat. Total Blackout Painting. God bless you, Total Blackout Painting, for $10. Something like 23% of Gen Z was aborted. I mean, Sanger aside, that's a tragic thing. Yeah, man.
That is wild.
That is wild.
But you have principles and morals, and your enemies don't. And I have to be okay with my enemies doing that to themselves at the end of the day. They'll take advantage of your good nature. Like there's sometimes I feel like people think to themselves, like, hey, you're so cold toward the left. How do I know you won't be like that toward me? The best way I can explain it is if that's like your neighbor, that's like you having a gun and your neighbor's like, oh, how do I know you're not going to shoot me? Or you have a gun and your friend's like, well, how do I know you're not going to shoot me? It's like, yeah, you're not a fucking foaming leftist. That's fucking crazy. Like, I just hate them so much. And once we have a high trust society, we can implement a lot of these. Once we're off the battlefield, we can really implement a lot of these, I guess, softer, nurturing, ethical, moral criticisms. But for right now, they got to kill them. They got to do it. Let them do it, man. I don't know. It's really hard. I have a moral dilemma there a lot of times when I think about it, if that makes sense.
I mean, look, I think honestly, if somehow by a miracle we could get back to a, ethnically homogenous society, I think a lot of these problems would work themselves out, to be perfectly honest, right? Like, I don't know, but like without like some kind of, like what I came up with this word, like the ethno base, right? Like without an ethno base, right? Like without sort of like enough ethnic homogeneity in society, right? All these people arguing about this governmental system or that governmental system, right? It's bullshit, right? Like you expect like a million Haitians to argue about like whether they want socialism or libertarianism. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Right? They want Santeria, voodoo, and like eating each other, right? Like nobody's making like an enlightened government, right? In like Haiti. Right? Like, right. I mean, it's just, oh God. So, you've got to solve the ethnical question first. Oh, mate, look, the super chats they're rolling in, bros. Corn-fed Cody for $10. Thank you very much, mate. Just trying to get put on the same watch list, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
That's
Corn-fed
the
Cody.
nicest. I'll never be able to explain to my mother why that was such a nice thing to say to me.
Appreciate it very, very much. I hope we can like meet in the gulag, right? And we hang out.
Oh,
and,
dude,
reminisce.
I'm cracking people up in the gulag, dude. I'm saving all my gulag jokes now.
We can reminisce over like a pot of gruel or something. It'll be a lot of fun. And Colin Christensen again for $5. Goodness me. Hey, big spender. $5. So we're using the Mexican child leader of the white race as a sewer slide bomber. Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how that works out for us.
Unironically.
Yeah, unironically.
Did you notice how I didn't laugh when I read that? I was like, I wish I could say it like that. Yes, that's how I feel on the inside is what you said on the outside.
And we got Deadpool Kid again for $5. Nick just wants to settle down with a Yahtzee femboy, really.
At the end of the day, he's a genetic dead end. He's a kamikaze. And that's how else could you describe him? If he's not doing this, he's useless.
he's going to resurrect the Catboy Reich, is what you're saying, basically.
Okay, well, fellas, now, I mean, what are you willing? Like, let's make a deal here, okay? There has to be some compromises. What if he had a Catboy Ranch, okay? But, I mean, what can really be done about Israel? Or for him to be mainstream, because he's becoming mainstream. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen all at once, but, like, everyone's terrified of him. I need to see where this goes. Actually, play the, let's start to wind it down. So we'll play the last video. So
play the Ghibli clip.
Fellas,
okay,
no matter what you think about him, okay?
Yeah.
The movement that is behind him, he discusses this being generational warfare. He straight up says, like, if you kill me, there's going to be another one that shows up. So on one hand, he's a genetic dead end, and I see that if you're a religious person, you're like, okay, dude, you don't have kids, you don't have the same stake in this that we have in it. Absolutely fair criticism. But you can't really take anything away from him. And I think that might be a factor as well.
And this is such a great propaganda clip, right? Like, I've spent a lot of time like studying propaganda, right? It's one of the things I'm like fascinated by. And this is some great propaganda. Another super chat. Name the dynamic for $2. Real high trust society has never been tried.
Show me where it's happened. It's never happened anywhere.
Bro.
It's happened for a blip in time, you know? I guess it happened before 1964, I would say. That's when it happened.
Oh, I don't know.
Was it more racist? Yes. Was it was it great for some of us? Absolutely.
I think a high trust society is racist by default, right? Because to have a high trust society,
you can't trust everybody, can you?
Yeah, exactly. No, a high trust society is just, rules and customs and stuff like common courtesy, which you don't realize is actually not that common, right? Until you realize that it's only certain groups of people that do that,
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
You just interviewed Nick Fuentes.
I did.
Or had a conversation with him. What did you think of that? What do you think of him?
My experience with Nick Fuentes is that he's a terrible person and a terrible human being.
But he is clearly part of a campaign to discredit non-crazy right voices.
I can confirm he's dishonest.
This weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago, young white men who've been totally cut out of our economy. I mean, they really are the victims, and they're desperate, and no one speaks for them. So they go to Fuentes because he's like incredibly articulate, and they think he's our leader. But in one of the saddest ironies of all, like, he's acting against your interests, actually.
But then when it comes to me, I'm one of the real disaffected white people. You want to talk about me and them? I am them. He says Nick Fuentes is leading all of the disaffected young white men. I am a disaffected young white man. I was a precocious, intelligent, young white college student who went to Boston University, who was pro-Trump and red-pilled by Trump and animated by Trump's message of America first. And I asked questions about Israel, and I was punished for it. I did it years before Tucker Carlson started talking about Israel last year. And I sacrificed, and I was targeted by the ADL, by the SPLC, by the federal government, by the conservative movement that both Candace and Tucker were a part of. He's lonely, he's weird, he lives in a basement. That's a lot of people because of the problems you claim to care about. Do you care about Klarna and people going into debt to order pizzas and home ownership being impossible? Or do you think that's a contemptible, low-status thing to be ridiculed and mocked? What is wrong with being from Chicago? What is wrong with being weird? What is wrong with living in your basement? I'm the inauthentic person. I am that person. I am a spokesman for the disaffected white man because I am one, and you two are not. My dad didn't even graduate college. My mother's father was a garbage man in Chicago, and he committed suicide. He was a veteran of World War II. Who's the CIA cutout? Who's the poser? Who is America? I am America. Chicago is America. That's an American story.
Man.
God,
that gives me the feels.
I get chills. I actually get tingles. I don't care how gay that is. I'll put on the cowboy ears, okay? That actually, like, I'm a very emotionless person, okay? That actually fucking, like, it punches me in the gut, dude. It does something. It's effective. It's very, I can't even necessarily call it propaganda. It's just very honest and forthright.
It is propaganda, right? Like the original conception of propaganda was not lies, right? It was
Right.
like crafting a message. The
Effective
original conception of propaganda was to tell the truth with it. It was only like after World War II it sort of got the sting. We got some more super chats. Sorry, it took a while to get to you, guys. Dongus Kark 69, your mum. He just chose that name presumably so you get like streamers to say it. Fucking awesome. For $5, a second Groiper plane headed for the conservative towers.
Yeah, bro. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. How is he not? He is he sacrificed his entire life to do this.
Yeah. And Christos for £5. Monks and nuns are genetic dead ends, but the message continues. Yeah, that's a very good point.
That's a
really
good counterpoint.
Really good point.
They probably have much more polite messaging, but he is speaking to his base. He's speaking to people that are fed up. So I very similarly like to say things in a very cutting way. So I understand his approach. So yeah, that's actually a really good point.
I mean, there is a saying, right? You know, that God like uses imperfect people, right? Like, you know, if you look at the stories of the, you know, the Orthodox and the Catholic saints, a lot of them were like really messed up before they joined the church, right? Like, you know, murderers and whores, and you know, like because that's the central message of Christianity, right? Is that like anyone can be saved, right? Like, and personally, I think that's really beautiful, right? You can call me a fucking cuck if you want, but I think that's a really beautiful message, and it is. If you don't have that way out, right, then what chance is there for people who have lived a life that they regret, right? What you're just gonna like keep doing the same degenerate shit until you die, right? It's a way out, right? It's a way to like better yourself, and I think that's awesome, personally. So, you know.
Well, there's also just the very unique perspective of being like a tool of Satan, and hedonism and self-obsession and jealous, like just coming from that and being able to break away from it, compared to somebody who kind of just grew up religious, it's a valuable perspective to have. Like, even though I was always, I don't really like believe anything, like I'm an atheist, but I've always just been like relatively moral, even though I don't really care. I don't know how to explain it. I've always just the way I've always explained it is I don't want to fuck up anybody's day. It's just how I've always felt.
That's very white of you, Artie.
Dude, it's running through my veins. There's nothing I can do about it.
It's that special sap running through your veins.
I don't know how else to explain it. I don't want to fuck up someone's day. And so even in like, I don't know, but I know what you're saying. But I really empathize with people that are able to change, it's really fucking hard, especially today where it seems like there's no future for you. It can be very difficult.
Yeah.
So
Well, religion is a way out for people, right? Like, you know, again, right? Like not like the tranny church, right? Like the Unitarian church with like the tranny flag outside and like the, you know, the non-binary priest, right? Where you like sit around and sing like Jewish, like Christian songs, right? Like not that. Okay. That is not what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about like the trad casts, the trad Lutherans, the Orthodox, right? People who still follow the liturgy, right? To an outsider, I guess it seems like a distinction without a difference, right? But the liturgy is really important. If you're gonna try and join a church, make sure they do the liturgy, right? It's a very, very important part. And all the people that hate you and want you dead hate the liturgy. They hate it, right? They just they really, really don't like it, which is a good indication, right?
Right.
Right. So we done? Is this the end of the stream?
Do we have another super chat? Everything looks
No,
like dog shit on my end.
Unless anyone's gonna like
No,
wait. We do have one more from Theodore McCarthy for $5 US. Yes, he's a kamikaze, and every society survives on the basis of young men being willing to self-destruct for it. Man, that's a really good point.
That is correct. And then somebody responds by saying, unless he destroys the right by demonizing them too far. Yeah.
I mean,
they need to be demonized. We haven't had a right wing in
demonized.
decades. I know, right? It really does feel like that. It really feels like we haven't actually had a right wing. Like I just showed you Pat Buchanan from 2000, and don't you think that was considered racist? But how correct was it? Trump is like it's barely right wing. It's like we don't have an actual right wing, which is a feature, not a bug, by the way. So I understand both sides then.
We have one more from Dongus Cock 69, your mom, for $2. 90% of you all would fold for mooish mummy milk.
Not your boy.
I think Abigail Shapiro is behind that account. Another one from Colin Christensen for $10. Keep it up, boys. Thanks very much.
Mate.
We've got Ben Boyce in the chat. Hey Ben, how you doing, mate?
Oh my god.
That's
Moorish
nice.
or mooish?
No, it's mooish.
Precious Ben.
It's mooish.
It's mooish.
Yeah, it's good to
not
see
Moorish.
You, Ben. we're just trying to get around the AI filters, mate. I'm sure you know what it's like. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's the end of the show. It's the end of the show, boys.
Colin Christensen for $10. Keep it up, boys. Colin Christensen for $10. Keep it up, boys.
Keep it up, boys. Didn't I read that one? Oh god.
Did you? I don't know.
I'm getting. Well, if I did, you got it twice, Colin. Thank you very, very much, mate. So we have now conclusively answered the Fuentes question. Come in again for another episode of Artie and Fist, Friday nights at 11 p.m. UK time and 6 p.m. across the pond time, where we will tackle more mysterious political mysteries. We don't know what we're doing next week. We'll figure it out.
I mean, this week was going to be James Lindsay. And then the Nick Fuentes thing happened. So tentatively, James Lindsay, which is just fucking absolutely endless. There was something today before we went on that I was going to, if it was the James Lindsay day, I was going to show it, but I'll have to save it for next week.
Man, he's just the lol cow that keeps on giving. He's
like, about mommy milkers. That guy gets fucking milked on the daily and just keeps on producing.
There's like an Indian legend about like the cosmic cow. Right, the eternal cow that can be like milked forever, a bit like the Holocaust.
There's some sort of, I need to find some sort of like Hindu cow. There's some sort of cow god that I have to put his face on, and he is the god of cows. He keeps giving, and he doesn't ask for anything in return. He just lets you milk him. He encourages you to milk him without telling you.
No, he asks for absolute dictatorial power in return, right? Like imagine if Lindsay was like declared dictator tomorrow, right? He'd be like fucking like Fat Stalin. So he'd be like, I pronounce you the left deviation. You are the right deviation. Up against the wall, you bad people.
I love the idea that he's going to be a liberal that's going to save liberalism without debating anybody and just using propaganda against people that are way better at using propaganda.
He's a liberal in the streets, but a Stalinist in the sheets.
Easily.
Like,
We'll end it there.
Okay. Wait. Oh, and someone keeps asking, bro, Discord when? I don't know. We'll look into it.
If you guys want to make a Discord, make a Discord. I'm very bad at Discord in general. I'm very much a boomer with that. If somebody wants to set it up, sure.
No, look, I'll set it up.
I don't know.
It's better that we have control.
I just see that there's drama in Discords and shit like that, and I just want to be focused on making content. I don't know how.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know how to make it not faggy and gay and drama, and I don't know. I just don't.
I don't know, mate. It's 2025. Can you really call yourself a streamer if you don't have a Discord?
I know,
Crikey.
but let me just be very honest, very quickly. I was afraid that I wasn't going to like people that liked me because I've honestly, because I didn't know what kind of audience I was going to be like able to cultivate. I didn't know what they were going to be like. And so like, I didn't want to be like the insane clown posse. Like I don't want their fucking fans at all whatsoever. I would hate to have juggalos as my fucking fans. I'm unbelievably impressed. And I really like this community a lot because it's actual diversity of thought. People bust balls. They disagree. They make good points. So it seems like it would actually be good, the Discord, from what I see in the chat and from what I see in my comments. I think there's like 5% of my comments that I don't even necessarily care for. I don't even hate them. I don't know. I just didn't expect that people would be just good interlocutors and have funny.
Yeah, they're good dudes. Oh, another final super chat from Dongus Cock 69. Your mum. Just love fucking saying that. $5. James Lindsay is pretty much a critical theorist, isn't he? Does he even offer solutions, or does he just try to shit on people?
Unironically views the world dialectically.
Yep.
He uses that to analyze the fucking world, dude. I'm gonna go on a tirade. We gotta cut it right now, dude. I'm sweating.
Go on over to Arden Party's show after this. He's doing something on Party Plays on Rumble. He's a good lad, is Ardent. So check it out. Right, I think we're going to go. Thank you so much for everyone who super chatted and stuff. We love you all. We'll see you next week and all that.
Possible Discord soon. I got the best fellas. Later, fellas.
Goodbye, guys.